Hi, I'm gonna be doing kind of like a tour of all of my fish tanks and kind of the updates that's been happening over the past few months and kind of where things are. Um, this is my 40-gallon breeder, and it's been doing great. I said I was gonna get rid of these. I did, and then I put them back in because I got some torches that I wanted to keep in here. Um, I think they brought a bacteria infection in here, sadly, because this torch is not doing very good, like at all. And the torch that was on that rock that was doing very well, just gone, thin air, just. But I plan to do an ICP on this, on all my tanks, just to make sure, because someone said it could be zinc, which is it can get through the RDI whenever I do that, because I do make my own RDI. They said kind of like the Chicago area is known for zinc, like getting through the RDI. So I'm going to test for that, see if that might be the cause, but that could be the reason why these acros. Ooh, hello, fishies. If you can move out of the way. Reason why some of these acros are not growing, but they are very happy, and their polyp extension is, I would say good to an extent, because I've seen it longer, but my torches are doing pretty happy. They're turning. I just turned on the light, so they're not at their fullest, but like my green hammer is doing good, my gold hammer, which is doing good. Toadstool leather is doing its thing, but I am dealing with a bunch of Aptasia in this tank and a little bit of cyano in the back. But I'm not too worried about the cyano, more or less of the Aptasia. So down here, you can see some of my Zoas closed up. They were covered in Aptasia, and I used Aptasia X to get rid of them. And some of the, I may have got some on the Zoas, so they're not doing too happy, but star of the show. Star of Lenny, always taking the spotlight, but Confish actually started hosting this Dunkin' as of late. I don't know if they'll do it right now, but I was planning to move this to my frag tank, and then they started hosting it, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat, so I kept it in here. But until at least this anemone, I don't know if we can see it because it's a frag rack, but that is a Nexus Burst anemone. I'm hoping they'll actually take to that if I do remove this Dunkin', but I want it to grow bigger before I do that. But the mushroom kind of like area is doing really well. The mother jawbreaker on here actually floated off, so I took them and put them in my frag tank. But these were all covered in torches, but some of them passed away, and then some of them I have in my frag tank. So, and last update for this tank, I haven't seen the pistol shrimp in a long time, and I haven't seen any new tunnels, but there is a tunnel here that he's been kind of by. But as you can see, there's like mounds right next to the rockwork that are kind of fresh. I don't know if that was from the pistol shrimp. I'm pretty sure it was, because they would do that on the back. But I might get another pistol shrimp if he is completely gone, but that's all good. So I'm gonna be taking you to my other tanks right now. All right, here is my big fiberglass frag tank. I did move everything from this section. I moved it over here just to kind of condense everything and just have everything closer together. Makes it more organized, but I'm starting a little Zoa collection, which has been doing really well. I've also been dealing with Aptasia in this tank. I want to try to get a fish that will eat Aptasia, but I'm having trouble. I've tried copper bands a couple times and they haven't worked out for me, but everything's doing really well. I don't know if I showed this to you, but this is my favorite piece in the tank. It's a lot more orange in person. I don't have a lens on my camera, so it's not showing its true colors, but very bright orange. It's like a very nice bleeding apple. But I also got this really big elegance coral in. It is very beautiful. It's very big. It's not fully open right now, but it will cover this whole area right here, and it's really cool. But everything's doing really well. Even my stratospheres over here, they're doing really well. They've been growing really nicely for me. I actually cut a few frags off of it, so that's always nice. For this tank, I do plan to add more consistent lighting because right now it's a random assortment of lights. I want to get more of these and just hang them up, have more of an even spread. And if I need to, add like light bars so that these edges get light, because right now they're probably getting about, it depends where it's at. Like right here it's probably getting 100 par, but over here it might be getting like 50 to 75, but that's why I condensed everything over here, because this had a more even spread. But I want to talk about this later, but this guy, this anemone, he has grown so big and is so beautiful. I don't know what the name of it is, but I have been calling it a sunburst type just because of how kind of bright it is. It's so much, it's pretty close to the video, but it is so much brighter. But everything's doing pretty well. This Scully's healing up pretty nicely. It did get like hit by another coral. I might do like a video on fragging that just because I want to try it myself and I kind of want to share that experience with everyone, and I don't see it done very often. I see a couple people on YouTube do it, but that's all. But yeah, this is going to be kind of I'm just going to throw coral in here just to see how they do. I might try to section this off over here and maybe put some inverts, because I do want to try some inverts, but everything's doing pretty good. So if we move this way, this is my RDI for now. This is not its permanent spot, but I did set up these two. I set up the pallet rackets. I did some plumbing, which if I needed to, I can easily section off each of these make these like sectioned off. So if I did only want because I'm gonna add nozzles to these so that I can direct flow, but just to kind of help with, because it's a very long tank and it's not very easy to get flow all the way down pretty easily. So I want to use this as kind of like help randomize the flow. But I can easily section these off if I need to. So I could put like a wall here. So if I did want to have a fish in here that isn't, I want to keep in here because maybe it's full of Aiptasia or something, I can easily do that. All I need to do is add a barrier. So, but it's just mainly for kind of I got an oversized pump, so I realized that too late, so I got the 20,000, which is really strong. I did not want to limit it by a valve, so instead of having it only one return, I have 5 returns just to kind of even out the flow, because this is, I believe, 5,000 gallons of water an hour if it was at full capacity, but I only have it around 30 to 50%. It will hopefully, how do I say it? It will make the pump last longer, I'm hoping at least. But this is my new tank system. So this is the sump, so that's gonna be the skimmers. I have these skimmers in for now. I don't have them turned on because I want to keep the nutrients in the tank, because I actually don't have any fish in here yet. I've had it running for about a month, and I need an orange lens filter, but it is very bright in there. I have the blue light turned up too much. I need to tweak the settings because I want it to have more white light. Sorry for the flickering of the light. The frequency on this light, my camera does not like it, so make do. But got a little frag rack, got a bunch of the torches, and then a bunch of frags that I'm gonna try growing out. Like I just fragged these Alveopora that I want to try to grow out, and then just the bigger colonies, and use that as kind of like a mother colony. I've been trying to get into more zoas. I have these zoas, but I completely forgot their name. They are super nice when I get a picture of them, but I don't have a great picture because I just put it in there actually yesterday. I went to a local frag swap, which is really cool, which don't actually happen very often in my area. I got that by trading a few corals, so I'm happy. It's a fun event. It's at a place called the Local Fish Store. That's the actual name of the store. Scott, very cool dude. I appreciate him for hosting. It's always a fun time going there, meeting new people, and doing all that. But this is where the Jawbreaker landed. He detached and I put him in here. And yeah, this is gonna be like my Jawbreaker kind of bin. I plan to fill this completely full of Jawbreakers. I do love Jawbreakers. They are so bright. But another side note, this is my current quarantine tank. It's a 20-gallon long. I do have a light, I got a heater, and I got a pump. Because my hammers were not doing the best because the bacteria, so I dipped them, put it in here, and they stopped dying because they would die from the inside out, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, it's some nice kind of mini colonies of these candy canes that I want to grow out. Just kind of stuff in here. Everything's closed because it's the morning. I need to do a water change on here. But basically these are all my hammers in here, so that's pretty nice. That's kind of an update for kind of this. For future plans, I do plan to put 2 tanks here, but my only concern is that they have to be 2 feet wide because this is a 2 feet like crossbar. So I gotta put something that's 2 feet wide so that they rest on these. I'm gonna put a plywood piece on here, but or something to kind of cushion it. So side note, this is actually the new frag tank. These are both 8 foot by 2 foot. This is gonna be the new frag tank. I'm planning to put a bunch of the same light that I'm planning to put on this tank on this one, or any light I can kind of salvage up for a relatively good price. But this is kind of like, I'm going to use this as a frag tank. I do want to just put like zoas in here, just so that, I'm not too sure. I could put acros in here because this light is actually pretty strong. It's really nice. It's called Reef Reader Photon 48 inch, and I think it's the V2 version, so that's nice. But everything's been running, so everything's great, so pretty happy about that. It's actually pretty silent. But the one thing I do need to do, I want to 3D print a bracket so that I can hold up that filter sock, so it's not kind of like, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's the water's going in and back up it, I just have it there for now. There's nothing in here that really needs to be filtered out right now, so I'm not too concerned about it. And for that, I do plan to get a bigger protein skimmer, and I plan to put a UV sterilizer in here, just to kind of like an extra thing. But right here is going to be where all of the electronics and equipment sit. Right now it's just sitting on the floor, not very organized, which I do want to fix. That is one thing I want to do. I'm gonna go and fix all of the cabling. See right here, there's more cabling. I'll get to them in a second. Those are my axolotls. But all my cabling, I hate looking at this. It is a big mess, but I did elevate it a little bit so it's not on the ground. Well, some of it's on the ground, but it's like unplugged. There's my RDI bin. But I do want to set up a little shelf like right here maybe, just to kind of like make things easier, organize stuff, keep things off of the ground. But as you can see, big mess. It's like my testing area. But this is going to be like, this was going to be a quarantine tank, so, but I didn't get around to setting it up. I did not have an extra heater, so. But if we move over here, there's Fred. Say hi, Fred. It's Fred the Beard Dragon. But here are my axolotls. I did feed them already today. There are pellets on the ground here that I gotta vacuum up. I feed them right here so that usually whenever I turn on the light, they come over and eat, but sometimes they don't. They're doing really well. I do plan to upgrade them into a bigger tank eventually. He's over there in the back corner. I'm sure this guy is in his cave. I did put a cave in here. He's probably in there. I can't see him, but you could probably see him. I see him a little bit in the cave, but I do plan to upgrade that, and I have a 75 gallon right here just sitting here. I do plan to add them in here. It's going to be kind of like a vivarium in a way, so like half of it's going to be full and then the top half is going to be like a little plant area. So I'm going to try to make this a pretty nice build because it's going to be their permanent home. But yeah, it's been going on. And oh, another thing that I've been doing, I did get a 3D printer, and I started 3D printing frag rats. So this is not my design. I wish it was, because I actually really like it, but I do plan to create my own design, maybe try to sell it in the future. But just getting a 3D printing now, which is pretty nice. Got little plant section, little frag station, but everything's going pretty nicely. That's kind of an update. Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked from this. I get sidetracked really easily. Because I'll start doing like the organization, then I'll just get sidetracked. But I just got sidetracked again. But I'm planning to put 2 tanks here. I'm planning to put 2 120 gallon or 90 gallons, or just a 4 foot by 2 foot. I could even do 1 5 foot and 1 4 foot because this is a 9 foot section. But I need to figure out, I've been scouring like Facebook Marketplace to see if there's a good deal. I'd just like to trade for coral for it, because that's just the easiest way for me. But I did put these on there here because these are actually pretty sharp. But I need to get another pool noodle because not all of these corners are filled. Like right here. Oh, these bars are gonna be for the new light system that's gonna be here, hopefully. But I'm planning to put 2 tanks here. One of them's gonna be kind of a more predatory tank, and it's still gonna have coral, but I want to put like cool things like snowflake eel. I want to have maybe a cowfish. I haven't planned any of this out. It's kind of more just speculation of what I want to put in there, but any of the fish that I name would be really cool. It'd be like cowfish, just snowflake eel, dwarf lionfish, kind of just throwing names out there. Just like different fish I don't normally see. I would like to put in this tank, and then over here would be more of like my reef tank where it'd have like, I want to put like a bunch of schooling fish. As much as I like tanks, I do like to have schooling fish, but it depends how that works. I don't know what I do. This is just all speculation, but that's kind of the update. I'm going to connect it all to this system so it has more water volume. Like this tank over here might be more acro dominated. This one might just be like random, like LPS, SPS, softies. It doesn't matter. And then it'll just all be plumbed into the system. So that's why I'm planning to get a bigger, what do you call it? Bigger protein skimmer, and like I'll probably put a calcium reactor in there eventually, whenever I do need it. But for now, everything's running pretty smoothly. Well, I guess this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you come back to the next video. Thank you.